everyone. I hope y'all can see me because it's still relatively dark this morning, and I hope we don't have any technical difficulties because I'm not in the mood. But this video right here, guys, is about to be a public service announcement, story time rant, all rolled up in an emotional burrito. Yeah, guys. So before we get started, y'all already know my little spiel. I need you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and share because I am what? For the people. Y'all, first of all, let me start off by saying this is going to be my public service announcement portion. Don't ever believe or don't ever think just because a person is saved or they go to church and they pray and they are really, heavily anointed, whatever have you, don't stop and think that gives you a free pass to test their gangster. Okay? Because we weren't always saved. We were not always saved. We were not always Team Holy Ghost. All right? And it is a daily struggle to police yourself. All right? So let me give y'all a little bit of a backstory, and I'm not going to go into the whole thing because first of all, I don't want to give this any life, any power, anything. I have been for months, guys, I have been antagonized, trying to be antagonized on my job. I've been ignoring, I have been turning the other cheek, I've been letting it slide, I've been letting all of those things. But it got to the point where it started to build up. All right, guys, and I'm talking about to the point where I can't even explain why it had bothered me this certain day. Maybe because I've been going through some things and, physically and mentally and emotionally, and I was trying to deal with them outside of coming to work. But this particular day, guys, it just, I had enough. My cup have runneth over with the foolishness, okay? And I sat there all day, not saying nothing. And when somebody is always antagonizing you with these slick little comments, it's almost like them scratching you and then coming back, and every time they see you, they scratching that same spot. They just scratching and scratching the same spot. But then it turns into a festering wound. That's what happened emotionally. I mean, it got to the point where they was just, I got to the point this day, y'all, I said, you know what, I'm done with this. I got to do something about this. Ooh, this real dark, y'all. There we go. So I was at work, co-worker antagonized me, saying all type of BS, tomfoolery, what have you. And I decided that I was going to start a paper trail because I needed to report this because I found myself becoming the old person I used to be. And so mind you, all the while this person is saying all these little antagonizing comments and taking these little jabs and these little, trying to get these little gut punches in, I'm not saying nothing because I know me. If I say something, it's gonna blow up and it's gonna turn into something that I need to be. So I'm like, and I have to like talk to myself out loud. I'm like, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing, Denise. Be quiet. All right. Looking like a whole crazy person talking to myself, keeping myself calm, y'all. That's what I had to do. So I said, at this point, I need to talk to some people like face to face about this whole situation, because this right here don't make no freaking sense. So y'all probably don't, I don't think y'all know this, but I ripped my Achilles tendon back in January. So now when it gets inflamed and it hurts and stuff, I still walk with a little limp. When I tell y'all, walking up there to that office, I was limping faster than Fire Marshal Bill off of In Living Color to get to that office. Yes, I was. Because I was sitting in my workspace with another coworker who's also been experiencing the same thing with the same person. And so this person antagonizing people have been jumping from person to person, not person, but literally jumping from female to female. And we've all noticed that the females that she is antagonizing are all 50 and over. I'm 50. The other coworker is 53, and another one is past her 50. And we all sitting up here trying to figure out what is this? What is going on? Now, mind you, this is another female, okay? This female, you know what I'm saying, pretty. In my opinion, she's pretty young lady. On the outside only. Because on the inside, the way your actions and your behavior is ugly. So, by the time, I was sitting there at the desk, and then we got some information handed to us about what she was saying. And for some reason, I don't even know why, but for some reason, guys, I got super irritated. Irritated, well, it ain't even a word. My ears got hot. I literally felt my blood pressure rise. And I shut down my area a couple of minutes early. And I raced down there to that office. And the people, and I had to wait for the people that I had to talk to. So sitting in that office, when I tell y'all, I was jolted out. I was sitting in that office, I was shaking, baby. And I was upset, I was shaking, I was mad. I don't even think I was mad. I think I was 2 degrees higher than rage. Then here come the hot flowing tears. All right. And I was sitting in the office talking to everybody boss about this situation. And everybody boss was like, sometimes it's a good thing to let, the emotions come out, because you've been holding on to them. I wanted to say, black person pissed off and crying are not good combinations. I wanted to tell them so bad. That's not a good combination. Matter of fact, that's a slick side dangerous combination. 'Cause it is. So, in my mind, nothing is really going to come of it. It's not going to resolve. But the fact of the matter is that me, myself, and I all have to collectively come together and police myself, because, like I said, this person has been antagonizing me for months. And then when they asked me, they said, why you didn't say anything? I said, well, first of all, I didn't say anything because my whole thing is that I'm sitting up here trying to ignore it. In my mind, I'm like, okay, this little girl, she doing this to everybody. And pretty soon she gonna stop leaving me alone, whatever the case may be. But that didn't happen. It just kept going and kept going and kept going. Now, mind you, I don't work with this person every day, only 2 days out the week. But it's always something with this person. Always something. And here is the kicker. I don't know her name. I don't even really know her name. I believe she knows mine, but I don't too much. I don't even know her name. They have to tell me her name. I don't know anything about her. She knows nothing about me. When she first came on, and I first was aware of who she was, and she also has a partner up there with her. We had, conversations about my business, about my crochet and my waist beads and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, you're pretty cool, speak, everything else. I had to go to CDL school, and I come back, and I'm like, so something is off. Something a little funny. I'm not sure what it is, but okay, whatever. Then I had to go on medical leave because, like I mentioned earlier, I ripped my Achilles tendon. And I was off for a good 3.5 months, and I come back. And I can feel the disdain that this girl has for me. Why? Like I said, I don't know her. She don't know me. We ain't never had no negative words. I am never thinking about the child. But as soon as I get back, I can feel this. That's when the slick side comments and the little this and the little that start happening. I'm sitting up here like, what? Okay. And at this time, she was concentrating on my other friend. And I'm having to calm her down because this friend, this co-worker is not to be played with. She is the literal version, literally the version of go find you something safe to do. Literally, okay? She is not to be played with. But me and her are really cool. So I'm having to calm her down in her situation. And now the situation is flipped on me where this girl is going. I'm like, all right. So this is what I sit up there and I told to myself. I said, the main reason why I don't say anything, and I had to explain this to people, is like I said before, I know me. If I say something, it's going to lead to something extremely negative that I won't be proud of. And another thing is that I'm a grown woman with real grown bills, real grown responsibilities. So I'm not going to do anything in jeopardy. And the fact of the matter is, I'm not that old person anymore to where it wasn't no conversation to be had. I'm not going to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally not going to talk. Because if I had responded to when she was saying something, it was going to resolve in me and her. It's going to result to me and her standing there nose to nose and me asking, so you got something that you want to say to me? Because here's another thing what happens. So we have radios that we talk on for communication. So this person spent a lot of time on the radio saying the slick side insults, veiled comments, and all that other stuff. But passed by me 11 times and says nothing, don't need to give me eye contact. So that's what we do. So what is the point of you saying anything in front of a crowd, but then once you by yourself, you don't repeat anything you just said. You don't give me eye contact. You try everything that you can not to even look at me. You're weird. You're super weird. Leave people alone, because this person is going to run into somebody that do not care about the consequences of the laying of the hands. Trust me, you have people out there that are like that. You have people, as I stated before, one of my other videos, that wake up, sit on the side of the bed, and they choose violence every day. They don't even have to choose violence. They go to bed with that on their mind. And here you are out here making it a point to nitpick, to making it a point to stir up stuff. And you're thinking that it's cool, you're thinking it's funny. You know, it gives you some type of, I don't know, gloat. It gives you some type of weird and warped satisfaction that you've done this or that you've said this. But let me tell y'all, let me give y'all a little secret about people. You can piss somebody off faster by not saying anything and not reacting than it would be to cause a reaction. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for a reaction. So you not saying anything and you not reacting will piss them off. And it's a shame that I said we are all women up in here. Why do we have to be like this with each other? You know, you're just picking people up out the blue to try to antagonize and do borderline bullying. And then it should be so slick with it because nothing can really be done about it because it's just words. She hasn't crossed no serious line and made no threat. And that's the reason why it really can't be done with it. But what I did when I went in that room and I was talking to everybody, boss, I knew strategically what words to say to get their attention. Now, I wasn't manipulating, I wasn't anything, but I sat there and I let them know, because when you talk to certain people, you have to be careful on certain words that you use for them to take you seriously or not. You have to be able to talk to anybody, especially when they are in a higher position. You have to be able to talk to them. You have to be able to say. So I didn't go up in there and they're like, oh yeah, I went in there upset, but I didn't go up in there. I held my rage and my anger, but I went in there upset. The stuff that I wanted to say, I refrained from saying, because I did not want them to look at me as I was part of the problem, which sometimes they do when we all look like this. You know what I'm saying? When we look like this, and you have two of us that look like this, or more, and there's a problem, sometimes they look at it as all of y'all are problematic. No, that's not the situation. I didn't go in there, and I didn't go in there stomping around saying, oh, you know, she getting on my nerves, and she always got some BS to say, you feel me? I didn't do none of that. I went up in there and I said, I've been antagonized, borderline bullying. I said, you know, I just wanted to stop. I don't know if she got something going on at home. I don't know what's going on, but I want this to stop, period. That's all I want. I want to come to work, clock in, do my job, and leave. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And they were like, okay, yeah, we understand, and da-da-da. And I still understand that because it's words, and because there was no voluntary, involuntary action on her part, not a lot going to be done. But the important thing was there was another paper trail started. And I'm trying my best not to jap out. I'm trying my best not to let her take me there or let her see. Never let them see you sweat until it's time to get wet. So at this point, I'm just like, oh, okay. Keep saying whatever it is you want to say. I'm not going to respond. Period. But the fact of the matter is that I'm going to refrain from being the old me. I'm going to refrain from being that person that's ready to deliver the smoke at the drop of a dime. That's not me no more. And the fact that I don't say anything and I don't respond, I don't do nothing, that does not make me weak. It does not make me a coward. That does not make anybody less than us. That makes you smart, especially when it comes down to your paper, especially when it comes down to your job, because we all punch a clock because we need to be there. None of us at this point is in a position where you hear people say, I don't need this job. Okay, well, I need mine because like I said, I'm a grown woman with grown bills, and I'm not going to let anybody jeopardize my paper, my livelihood. So me being quiet and not saying nothing is not making me look like anything but a grown adult. And then number two, it's going to get to that point when you have somebody always saying something and you never respond back. It gets to that point people start looking at that other person like, what's wrong with you? Like, why you always got something to say and that person ain't doing that? You know what I'm saying? You making yourself look crazy. And I am one of those people, and I'm going to tell y'all this about y'all virtual auntie. I am one of those people that will deep dive all in the nook, cranny, and crevice of psychological warfare. Because let me explain something to y'all. Psychological warfare is 12 billion times stronger than physical. You can sit up there and throw hands all day long. It's not going to have a lasting impression as psychological warfare. No, it won't. And my part of my psychological warfare is still being quiet, not saying anything, not responding, and doing exactly what I did, which was making sure I talked to the right people about this situation before it got further than where it should have been. As they say, escalated than where it should have been. That's a part of my psychological warfare. You're going to always want to do a paper trail. My virtual nieces and nephews, you're always going to want to start a paper trail. That's a good cushion, a good pattern for you. Don't be at work and be that type of person. As soon as you know someone is doing this, you're ready to attack, you're ready to retaliate, you're ready to do all of that. It doesn't make you less than a person. Like, you know what, I know exactly who to go to, and I know exactly who to talk to have this on paper. Another good advice, if you come across this situation, whether it be on the job, at school, wherever, make sure you document things. That's another good way of having a paper trail. Because like they said before, the pen is mightier than the sword. Make sure you're documenting things. Time, place, manner, person, what happened. So you can have receipts. Build up your receipts. And you go, so when they ask you, well, what happened? And can you, because the first thing they're going to ask you for was to ask you, can you give me an example? There you go. It doesn't have to be a novel. There you go. There's all the examples that you need. Do your an investigation. If there's somebody else that had to go through the same, unnecessary stuff that you went through, talk to them. Because sometimes people be like, oh, I don't want to get involved. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I ain't no snitch. Let me tell you something. A lot of things would have been resolved if somebody would have stepped up and said something. It ain't always snitching. Snitching is when you sitting up there looking for stuff to talk about and report. Looking. But if there is something happening that is, shall I say, unflavorful or whatever, something that's happened that I don't like, or I find, okay, this ain't right because this could potentially harm someone, or this could potentially this and the other, I'm singing like a canary, especially if it come down to me. I may not jump up and be like, okay, I'm finna get involved with somebody else's stuff, but when it come down to me, yeah, I'm singing like a canary. I have no time to be sitting there talking about, I ain't no snitch, I ain't finna worry about it. I'm not finna worry about it too, but I'm also going to sit up there and make sure that you get up off of me and you leave me alone. Definitely gonna do that. And I feel like as a community, we really need to get that out of our head, talking about snitching. I ain't no snitch, I ain't finna tell. Y'all take that. Let me rephrase, I ain't gonna say y'all, because there's probably some of y'all out there that have the same mentality I do. But people, take that phrase and that statement way too far. Way too far. At some point, there are some times when things are need to be said, because it could prevent a lot of things. So you really have to choose your battles on when, you say things. Oh, crap, I was supposed to get off the other way. But anyway. Yeah, you really need to choose your battles about when you need to say things, when you need to react, and when you need to just be quiet and not say anything. It's almost like playing chess. You have to have strategic moves in life to get to where you want to be and where you want to go. You can't always have a negative reaction, even though you may feel that way, because I sure felt that when I was in there talking to everybody's boss, not even right there, guys. I felt negative the whole day. I felt negative the whole freaking day. And I was mad. Well, I was past mad, to tell you the truth. And my whole thing is, when you see someone who tells you they mad and they start to cry while they're mad, I'm talking about they're making no sounds, they're just tears just rolling down. Run, pray, make yourself scarce. Because that is a person that is not okay. That's not a good sign at all. Just so y'all can be clear on that, that's not a good sign at all. So thank y'all for riding with me and listening to my story/rant PDA announcement. Leave me a comment how you like this one. Give me a like, because that lets YouTube know I'm doing a good job and y'all really rocking with your virtual auntie. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. Leave in a comment about why, what can I improve on, what can I do better, because like I said, I'm here for you guys. Your virtual auntie, really be loving you guys. And leave me a comment about a time where, if you ever experienced anything. I'm sure half of you have. But let me know if you ever experienced anything like what I have, have been going through. So until the next time on Carpool Confessional, stay blessed, stay loved, stay happy, and always be kind and live by that rule that you're going to treat people the way you want to be treated. And until next time, guys, your virtual auntie loves ya. And tune in. And don't forget to share this video. Bye-bye, guys.